OCO, my name is Robert Lewis. I work for the Cherokee Nation as a school and community specialist. Today I'm at the Cherokee National Prison Museum in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. I'm here to do some storytelling for you today, so here's your story. My friend Sequoia Guest, Jigay Song, he's no longer with us. Sequoia is a wonderful storyteller. He and I used to do all types of programs together. We one time went and did a dual storytelling session at the museum at Five Tribes in Muskogee. And this is the story I'm going to do for you today in honor of my friend Sequoia. It's about Rabbit and Possum. Rabbit had only one friend in the entire world, and that was Possum. Possum was the only one who would take care of Rabbit, because Rabbit would cause tricks for everybody. Possum loved to heal people. Possum was always out there finding medicine for people. You felt sick or ill in your stomach, Possum had the right type of medicine for you. You had a headache, Possum had the right type of tree bark for you. Rabbit, however, just caused trouble and mischief. And one day while they're sitting there, Rabbit turns and looks at Possum and says, "You know what? I've been thinking." He says, "What?" "I've been thinking really hard. We need a wife. Let's go find a wife. Someone to cook for us, clean for us, wash my toes. I like that idea." Possum says, "I don't know. The girls know you too well." And Rabbit says, "I don't care. Let's go find a wife." So they go walk in and find this woman sitting there out there weaving her basket. And as she's weaving the basket, Rabbit walks up and says, "That's a beautiful basket. You must have a strong husband hunt for you. Have all this time to work on your baskets." The woman says, "No, I don't. I've been looking really, really hard for a good husband." Rabbit says, "Well, guess what? You got two right here. One of us could be your husband. Come on, pick one of us. We'll take care of you." The woman looks at him and says, "I know about you, Rabbit. You cause too much trouble and mischief. I've heard too much about you. You best go on down the street. My sister, she's kind of hard up looking for somebody to date. You go find her. She's down the road. She's working on skins." So they go down the road. They go to this woman. She's sitting there stripping off this leather, working on skins and twining it. When they come walking on up there, Rabbit again says, "Hey, beautiful girl, we hear you're looking for a husband. Look at this." And Rabbit begins to flex. And Possum begins to dance and shake his tail. She sits there and says, "I like how you move. I like how you dance. Especially you, Possum, you and that bushy tail. And I love it. It's a gorgeous tail." Possum's sitting there shaking his bushy tail. But she says, "I'm sorry." Possum says, "Why? I thought you loved me." The woman says, "I know, but you hang out with that rabbit too much. He causes way too much trouble. You better go look someplace else." And so they go to the next town. When they go to the next town, Possum's starting to grumble. Says, "I don't believe this. That's two women. They both kind of liked me, had eyes on me, but they didn't want me because of you." Rabbit says, "I can't help that. Women change their mind all the time. Let's go to the next town. There's another woman over there." So they go to the next town. When they come across the next town, that woman's sitting there. She's working on a house. And Rabbit says, "Oh, this would be a good woman for us. She works on the house, take care of the house. We won't have to do anything. Come on, let's go." So they go walking on up there. That woman sitting there fixing that house turns and looks at him. Rabbit says, "Hey, baby, you'd like to be my wife?" Possum walks up and says, "I would love it if you could be my wife." And the woman says, "I like dancing. Show me you can dance." And Rabbit puts out his best moves, and Possum gets out there and dances and shakes that big bushy tail. When she comes down off that ladder, she says, "I like you, Possum. I love your eyes. I love your smile. I love your bushy tail. But you hang out with Rabbit way too much. I'm sorry. Go look someplace else." As they head on down the road, Possum's starting to cry. "I don't believe this. I'm not ever going to have a wife because of you." And Rabbit says, "Quit your crying. I'll run ahead. I'll get us wives. I'll find one for me, one for you. You catch up. Bring your bushy tail with you." Rabbit sits there and takes off. And Possum's going, "I don't believe this." Rabbit gets to the next town, runs inside. Chief's having a council meeting, sees the Rabbit coming walking in there, and everybody knows Rabbit's a messenger because he runs everywhere. So he says, "Rabbit's here. He must have a message for everybody." Rabbit runs up and says, "Everybody, we must get married. Bear says so. Pick your partner out right now." So everybody begins to look at each other. There's all this hugging and kissing and everything's going on, and everybody's having a big wedding, and everybody's getting married. Even the chief's daughter says, "Father, look, everybody's getting married. You're so happy. Look at everybody. Where's my husband?" Rabbit's going, Chief says, "Well, I think Rabbit's available." And they get married right there. And while Rabbit's taking his vows, Possum comes walking in and sees everybody hugging and kissing and says, "Hey, what's going on in here? It looks like a party." Rabbit steps up and says, I forgot about you, my friend. Possum says, I don't believe this. Everybody in this building has gotten married except me. And he begins to cry. I don't believe this. All I have to hug is a pile of dead leaves. The wife of Rabbit says, why is your friend over here? He's crying. What's wrong with Possum? Rabbit says, I promised him a wife. And so she says, well, you must keep your promises, especially to me, which is for all you young boys out there. Yeah, we promised that girl something, you better keep it, because they will not forget. Rabbit goes outside, takes Possum. They go to the next town. Possum's really grumbling this time. And Rabbit's hearing everything Possum's saying. I don't believe this. I go to the next town, you run ahead. I'll get you a wife too, but no, you're staying there with Mrs. Bunny. I got nothing, pile of dead leaves. What kind of friend are you? So Rabbit says, I'll get you a wife. I'll find you a pretty one. He says, I want a pretty one, says that Possum. I want a party too when I get there, just like you had at the last one. Rabbit says, fine. Possum says, fine. Rabbit says, fine. Possum says, fine, fine, fine. Rabbit runs ahead. Rabbit goes to the next town, finds the next council meeting. Everybody's already gathered. When Rabbit comes running in, the chief says, we've already heard the message. Everybody must get married. I've gathered all my people. Rabbit says, wait. It's a new message. Bear is worried. Too much love in the world. Everybody's bumping into trees, tripping over rocks. They fall into creeks. It's bad. Bear says we must prepare for battle because there's too much love in the world. And so the chief says, okay, everybody get ready for battle. So everybody grabs their weapons and gets ready. Rabbit runs outside, sees Possum walking up the road. Possum says, where you been? Rabbit says, I got you your wife, prettiest girl in there. She's inside, right there, dead center, inside that building. You run in there. Possum says, it's dark in there. How will I find her? You'll find her. She's standing right dead center. She's beautiful. You go in there, you close your eyes, you give her the biggest kiss in the world, wrap your arms around her. She'll be yours. Possum says, well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate this. Rabbit says, no problem. Runs off. Possum goes walking in. All the other animals are sitting there getting ready for battle. And the chief's standing there right dead center. Possum sees the person in the center of the room and says, that must be her. And walks to the chief like this. When the chief turns around and sees Possum coming, arms outstretched, lips puckered, Chief says, ah! And everybody jumps on Possum because they think Possum's attacking the chief. They drag him out. They begin punching and kicking, and Possum's trying to get out. He almost makes it out the door, and they grab his bushy tail and drag it in and rip off all the hair off his bushy tail. Finally, Possum says, I'm going to die in here. And so he comes up with a plan. He just lays there and grins. And as he's laying there grinning, Chief says, stop. Everybody backs up. Possum's laying there. And the chief says, oh no, we've killed a medicine possum. Now there will be no more medicine. Everybody must run. Everybody ran outside. When it got quiet, Possum got up, fixed his medicine out of his pouch. Drink it. Go, 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 go. Fixed himself better. And he says, I will never be friends with Rabbit again. And this is why possums and rabbits don't hang out with each other. This is why possums have a tail that's really long, but there's no hair on it at all. It's no longer bushy. But Possum's still out there trying to find a wife. And we all know this. Everybody out here has seen Possum at least once trying to find a wife. You'll see him because you'll be driving down the road one day. Oh my gosh, look out. You ran over a possum. Don't worry. The one you ran over is the medicine possum. He'll lay out there for a couple of days. A week will go by. You'll drive down that road. You'll see him. Ooh, look, that just don't look good. That's just nasty. Keep on driving. But one day you'll drive down the road and he's gone. Because in the middle of the night when it's quiet, he gets his medicine out, fixed himself up. He's still looking for Mrs. Possum. He's still looking for love. But he keeps looking in all the wrong places. Wado and thank you. Wado, if you enjoyed this and you want to hear more Cherokee stories, click on this link right here.